There are a lot of people who share their opinion that electric cars are greener than traditional ones, but there's more to this story than meets the eye, and it has nothing to do with the batteries. It has to do with manufacturers of electric cars attempting to retain ownership of the exclusive right to repair their products. Because of this, not only will there be hidden costs for you, but also for the environment. But are these car companies hiding something from their customers, or anything like that must be known to the market? So hey viewers, welcome back to Tech Addicts. Today, we are back with an amazing topic, and in this episode, we'll discuss some major issues with EVs that car makers are hiding from their customers. Are you excited to know? So without any delay, let's dive into the video, but before that, please hit the bell icon and subscribe to the channel to get every single update about the channel. But before seeing those major issues, just take a look at this fact. Rapid growth can be seen in the prevalence of electric vehicles on the roads of the world. The most recent statistics indicate that there are more than 3 million, and annual sales are growing at a rate that is close to 75%. However, recently, questions concerning the morality of purchasing one have been brought to light. Don't you think so? According to Amnesty International, unethical practices in the mining industry, such as use of child labor to extract minerals like cobalt, which are used to make the batteries that power electric vehicles, are undermining the vehicle's purported commitment to environmental and social responsibility. At the recent Nordic EV Summit in Oslo, the Secretary General of Amnesty International, Kumi Naidu, stated that addressing the issue of climate change should not come at the expense of human rights. He stated that so long as fundamental changes are not made, the batteries that power environmentally friendly vehicles will continue to be tainted by violations of human rights. So are we driving our EVs at the cost of health of those innocent workers? What do you think about it? Tell me in the comments. Once, when researchers visited 9 different sites, some of which contained deep mines dug by hand using simple tools, reported seeing artisanal miners as young as 7 years old. Miners have reported suffering from chronic lung disease as a result of their exposure to cobalt dust. The youngest miners were earning as little as $1 per day. Ooh, that's pathetic. The production of batteries now accounts for 60% of the 1,205,000 tons of cobalt that are mined globally each year. So basically, it needs proper rules and regulations and laws that require producers to submit their actual reports of what they are going to mine. Hence, in this way, an initiative taken by the London Metal Exchange in the previous year to prohibit the sale of tainted cobalt was met with opposition from a coalition of 14 non-governmental organizations, including Amnesty, on the grounds that it would simply force the trade into the shadows. They advocated for a more in-depth investigation into the origins of the mineral. The Global Battery Alliance of the World Economic Forum identifies 2 major challenges that are: to begin, the extraction of the raw materials that are required for batteries comes at a high cost to both humans and the environment. This includes things like the use of children as laborers, the lack of health and safety precautions in informal work, as well as pollution and poverty. Second, there aren't many systems in place to enable reuse and recycling in a circular economy for batteries, which poses a challenge for recycling the 11 million tons of spent lithium-ion batteries that are expected to be discarded by the year 2030. This poses a problem for recycling. When members of the OECD Forum on Responsible Mineral Supply Chains get together in Paris the following month, they are likely going to demand that businesses identify where they get their cobalt from. Apple, BMW, Daimler, and Renault, in addition to the battery manufacturer Samsung SDI, have already agreed to publish the information regarding their respective supply chains. According to Amnesty International, the majority of lithium-ion battery production takes place in China, South Korea, and Japan, all of which continue to rely on coal and other forms of fossil fuels for their electricity generation. They recommend that manufacturers make information regarding the carbon footprint of their products publicly available. The number of people who own electric cars is rapidly increasing. The International Energy Agency forecasts that there will be 125 million in use across the globe by the year 2030, with the possibility that the number could be doubled if governments quicken the pace at which they change legislation. As the prospect of bans on the sale of new cars powered by fossil fuels grows in Europe, the amount of pressure that exists to go green increases. Starting in 2030, Scotland will be the first country in the UK and France to ban the purchase of brand new automobiles powered by gasoline or diesel. However, reaching the goal of driving with zero emissions will take quite some time. Despite Norway's impressive sales rate, electric cars still account for only 1 in 8 of the vehicles on the road in Oslo. Electric cars still only account for 2.4% of global net sales. During the course of our research, a few unpleasant facts about vehicles powered by batteries came to our attention, and we think you should all know about that research. Excited? But did you subscribe to our channel? If not, please subscribe to our channel to learn these types of amazing facts. Now let's move back to our video. The first thing is, consumers have expressed reluctance to invest in a BEV unless their range anxiety is satisfactorily addressed, and they can confidently head out on a road trip without the need to plan their itinerary around rest stops at the charging station. Derek Kaufman, a representative from Schwartz Advisors, shared with the attendees of the AASA Vision Conference that the federal government intends to spend a total of $5 billion on the installation of an additional 500,000 charging stations. That's fantastic, but we really need 4 times as many as that. Driving habits and consumer practices will need to be adjusted in order to accommodate BEV dependence until there is a significant increase in the number of charging stations. Do you know the origin of the minerals that are used in contemporary batteries is a matter of concern on par with that of the infrastructure? Battery technology is advancing at a rapid rate, and professor and inventor John Goodenough, who is credited with inventing the current state-of-the-science lithium-ion battery, has recently co-developed a rapid-charging, high-cycle, non-flammable glass battery. This battery can store a lot of energy for a long time without catching fire. And yes, electric vehicles have a number of benefits that can't be matched by their conventional counterparts, which use internal combustion engines. These include, but are not limited to, decreased operating costs, decreased emissions, decreased maintenance requirements, increased performance, and increased convenience. We will go into further detail regarding these. The Environmental Protection Agency estimates that the average amount of carbon dioxide released by a conventional gasoline-powered vehicle with a fuel economy rating of 22 miles per gallon is 4.6 metric tons per year. Contrast that with an electric vehicle, which does not produce any carbon dioxide emissions. Another thing is EVs also cost less to operate. When it comes to getting from point A to point B, the cost of traveling by electric vehicle is significantly lower than by gas vehicle. These cost reductions can add up quickly and, according to estimates provided by Capital One, amount to approximately $632 annually. Have you heard about EV-only parking spots? This benefit is being listed last because it is subject to change depending on how widely EV technology is adopted. Many public places now have designated parking spots, and some of them even have charge stations for electric vehicles. These are typically the most prominent locations in the entire establishment. Because of this, depending on where you are, owning or driving an electric vehicle can give you access to some of the best parking spots. If the parking spot has a charger, you'll be able to keep your batteries at a good level while you go shopping if it does. Despite everything that we have watched recently, basically we can say that battery electric vehicles are not going anywhere, and their market share will gradually increase over time. Because of investments made by original equipment manufacturers and the government, the price of electric vehicles will drop, their range and performance will improve, and in the future, electric vehicles will control a significant portion of our transportation system. So for now, we are at the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then give this video a thumbs up and smash that subscribe button and press the bell icon so you will never miss any update. If you have any questions or queries in your mind, tell me in the comment box, and also check out our channel. You find really cool stuff.